Hi, everyone, and welcome to a Facebook Live. I am so happy to be here. Hello to all of our Brokers Are Better group. I am joined today by a few of our Brokers Are Better network, MMI with Ben Tierlink. We are here with Policygenius with Lauren McKenzie and with Val Miller from the one and only Art of Homeownership. So thank you all so much for being here today. I'm so excited to have each of you here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Corey. Excited for this.
Thank you.
Before we dive in too much, I just want to give everyone a little premise of what we're going to talk about today. And really what we're talking about is expanding your tech stack. We talk all the time about how it's so important that, people create systems and processes that streamline their business. And not only is easier for everybody when they go through the entire process, but it's also a lot better just for the longevity of your business. So there's a lot of things that we consider when we talk about expanding and building on your tech stack. And the common things that come to mind is, implementing a CRM, talking about the client for life. So how can we help from leads to closing and beyond? And that's kind of what we're really focusing on today. So we're going beyond the CRM, beyond the marketing, and really focusing on, okay, how do we complete this tech stack? What can we do to identify the entire process and hit all of the steps? So we're going to jump into it. And Val, I'm going to start with you just because you're a familiar face to me, very familiar. It's nice that you're on the other side of the interview this time. But we're just going to introduce each one of our Brokers Are Better Network partners here and give a little bit about what your company does and how that you see that you fit into this evolution of a tech stack.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Corey. I'm excited to be on this side of the camera. But coming from Art of Homeownership, so just so everyone knows, really the Art of Homeownership is what we call a systematized business model. So it really incorporates a lot of different tools and resources for both the mortgage professional and the consumer. So there are a lot of different pieces of the tool that you can utilize through the transaction, but really where we add the most value is after the transaction's closed and 30 plus years down the road. So it's really meant to educate the consumer so that they know about their home and everything that they can really be doing as far as opportunities, whether they're ready to refinance or it's just there to educate the consumer so that they know the most about their home.
Being that true mortgage advisor throughout the entire process.
Exactly.
And I'm sure I'm going to say that 7 more times throughout this interview, but it's really the premise of it. So Ben, I'll toss it to you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and MMI.
Yeah, well, thanks, Corey. Again, glad I could be on here and also share it with Val and Lauren. So, quick, about us, and our technology. We basically create an intelligence that's going to show you everything going on in your business and the industry, so that you know really where to focus. Because we find that you can get lost in doing things that aren't that effective for you. But if we can show you which realtors are the ones doing the business that you want to have conversations with, which opportunities are in front of you, that's really kind of been our goal, is that we take all your previous transaction data, all of the realtor partner data, all of those things, and say, here are your opportunities, and here's now what you should do in order to take advantage of those, by seeing what that is. So there's a lot of data, but being able to put it into a very clean dashboard to then show you, oh, this is what I should do. This is how I can go about doing that. And this is how I'll be most effective. So it's kind of the high level, quick version of our market intelligence.
And we love data. I mean, it's super important that people review their data, but not only that, they actually do something with it. So make informed decisions and help, to use that data to not only create longevity for your business, but see what's doing right, see what that you can adjust and move forward with. So thank you, Ben, for that explanation. And Lauren, Policygenius is the newest addition to Brokers Are Better Network. So give everyone a little bit overview of yourself and what Policygenius brings to the table.
Awesome. Yeah, we're super excited to be here and part of the Brokers Are Better Network. I'm Lauren. I'm on the partnerships team at Policygenius, actually leading our mortgage channel. So Policygenius is a online insurance marketplace. So not only can people compare your home insurance, but you can also buy it right on a one-stop shop through our platform. And we've actually worked very closely with the Brokers Are Better Network to create a solution to help borrowers get that personalized home insurance that they need, and then automatically send that EOI back over to the mortgage broker so you guys can close on the loan faster.
You said two really important words there, personalization and automatic. Brokers always want to be personalized because we are local shops. We're not the big corporate banks. We want to be able to have that one-on-one personal relationship with each of our customers. So that's super important. But so is automating the process. We're all busy, especially this past year. Everyone knows how busy things can get and how crazy and volatile the market can be. So having those streamlines in place is super beneficial for your business just in general. So Ben, I'm going to kick this next question over to you, but what do you think is an area that brokers commonly overlook when they think about building their tech stack? Now we talked about, the traditional elements of what a tech stack is, but there's so much more to this complete overall look of what a tech stack could be.
Yeah, I think so often what gets overlooked is, you're building that tech stack thinking, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. But what can often happen is you get so caught up in adding all these different things and they're going to do all these things for me. But then, I think what gets missed is that personal touch that you then kind of need, that you take from the technologies and then say, okay, this is going to help me. But these are the things that if I can then focus on, I'm going to be so much more effective, and I'm going to build a relationship with the borrower. I'm going to build a relationship with the agent. And that, I think, gets overlooked is you might put too many things in place that you think is going to do everything, and then you get kind of too much going and you don't really end up getting what you wanted out of it, and that is to build that lifelong client of yours, because you forget the personalization.
Definitely. And Lauren, you talked a little about personalization, so I'm going to throw you a similar question, but what should brokers keep in mind when they're looking to build their tech stack either from scratch or expanding on their current one? What do you think is a common place that they think over?
Sure. I've been talking to a lot of mortgage brokers in this space, and at this point, I would actually argue home insurance is something that's totally overlooked in the process. Currently people tell me, oh, I have a guy, and that's kind of the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of mortgage brokers. But my question back is, can that one person scale with you as you grow your business? Can they handle the amount of volume that you want to throw their way? So I think going forward, having a tech forward approach to every aspect of, that end-to-end close is going to be very important and start to really add a lot of value to your business.
Yeah. And I love that question that you throw back. And, we are recording this live right now. So if anybody watching does have a question for us, feel free to drop it in the comments. If you want to answer Lauren's question, that's even better. We can read some of these out loud. So, we are live here with you. We're so excited to be here. But, Val, I want to throw it over to you too. But, we do often preach about the client for life cycle and being with these people from, the second we get that lead in to clear to close to after. And you hear stories about, my past client came back to me and they have a leak in their ceiling and, they need a new roofer. So how can, just building upon what we already have we want to check off all the boxes. We don't want to leave any box unchecked. So not only art of homeownership, but just expanding your tech stack in general. How can this be the fit for these brokers?
Yeah, there are so many different angles I think I could go with this one. I would say the biggest thing that's overlooked when building a tech stack, if I'm going to do the blatantly obvious answer, is not having a tech stack. I think that so many people are still down in the ditches and doing so much of the nitty gritty in their business when they're trying to build and scale, and it just doesn't work. So I would say the first step really is to simplify. And I think that's overlooked a lot too. So it's not just a matter of saying, what can I give over to technology to take care of? But first, what can I eliminate and then give over to technology? Because whether you have technology or another person doing these things for you, it's still time and money that you're spending. So if you can eliminate it, then that's even better. So I would say eliminate and then give over to technology to take off your plate. And then I think the last step is, I know we're talking about tech stacks here, but just completing the circle, I would say, look at the things that you're doing and then figure out if someone else can do those things. I think that's where building and scaling a team comes into place, because if you don't have to be doing it, I know it's a hard step because it's like your baby and it's your business, but you should be looking at what are we doing in the next year, 3 years, 5 years, strategize and do the high level planning rather than processing loans every day. So I think it's just a matter of simplifying and then automating.
And go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, to add to that, Val, I think you're exactly right. And when you talk about kind of eliminating, I think you can also look at, hey, I have 3 or 4 different things that are kind of doing similar stuff. Can I find something where it's one-stop shop, simplify that, and I can accomplish all those things here, and then these things I need to get and add as well. Now you've got a couple things simplified with that perfect stack where you're not so sidetracked trying to manage 15 different things. I think that's going to be critical of, here's my few, it covers the whole spectrum, and I'm going to run with it.
Yeah, it's a great point.
I agree too. A lot of people overlook just the simplistic aspect of it. You don't want to be overwhelmed, and tech is scary for a lot of us, even people outside of the broker channel. But it's just a common conception that we hear with inside the broker channel that, tech is scary. It can be expensive. It can be really confusing. And Val, you really did make a great point when you said, hiring and scaling and what things can we hand off to other people. But tech can actually help with that process too. So Lauren, I'll start with you, but how do you think that technology legitimizes a person's business when they are looking for people to hire and bring onto their team?
Yeah, of course. I think it comes back to meeting customers where they currently are, where they're currently shopping, how they're currently shopping. So I'll give a quick anecdote. Our founders had started Policygenius because they were consultants in the insurance industry working with big, large carriers, insurance companies. And they kept bringing forward these solutions. Like, you have to, to continue and to grow, you have to meet customers where they currently shop. So, like, for the same reason people are on Zillow starting their real estate process, or Kayak to start buying flights. It starts with a digital experience first. So that's why they founded Policygenius. And so I think it just comes down to meeting those customers where they currently shop, and then being able to automate some of those processes for them, and then return it back to you.
Even in addition to meeting customers to where they shop, I think that when we talk about hiring and growing your team, brokers need to meet hirees where they are comfortable with. So we often talk about, hiring people right out of college and training them into the mortgage space. But people who are in college do everything on their laptop. They're very automated. They're typically younger. So how can we adjust and make sure that our businesses are up to this model so that people actually want to work for us? And Ben, I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah. And I think you're right. When we look at, our platform and some of the things that can do, it can say, hey, look, let us show you who's doing what in this business. So if you're wanting to add to your team and bring people on and say, I'm looking for someone that's doing this kind of business, or specializes in this area, and this is the number one person there. So I'm going to have a conversation there, bring them on, and then I'm going to also then provide those tools and technology that are going to help them succeed. And I think having the right technologies in place so that when you do have the conversations with people to add to your team, you can say, look at what I've put together, look at how well this is working, this is how you're going to be able to utilize that, and it's going to make all of us more successful. And I think that is key to then kind of paint that picture and have it there, and everyone wins with it.
And you talk to people too, and 9 times out of 10, they end up in the mortgage industry by accident almost. So I think that too, when you are looking for people to bring into this side, it's kind of not something somebody really expects when they get out of college. When I graduated college, I didn't think I'd end up in the mortgage industry, but here I am, and we're using skills and building on them and increasing our tech. And not only are you increasing your tech to help your business, but now you're helping your employees better themselves, learn, continue to grow, etc. So Val, as a younger professional in the industry, do you think that this is something that can be appealing to people so that we can bring more people into the broker channel, even if it's not as a broker position, but just someone to help with the daily operations or the marketing or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think in any industry, when you have technology in place and someone new is coming onto your team and you say, this is exactly how the process is mapped out, I think first and foremost, it communicates that you've put forth so much effort and planning into your business. So it just says, like, we have this figured out and we know that this process works. I think it also gives new hires a chance to be a little more creative because they're not spending so much time doing these tedious, low-level things. If you bring them in and say, hey, we just need to make sure that this automation is running smoothly, and you can get their feedback, it communicates to them that you trust them to get feedback from them and kind of let them be creative with whatever job you're giving to them. So I think it 100% legitimizes your business, and it just it communicates that you're putting a lot of effort into your business and you care about what you're doing.
Yep. You've checked off all those boxes. You thought it through the process from start to finish, and kind of getting back to that like client for life cycle, and, just wanting to be there for your customers forever, basically. We're really talking about the entire ecosystem and being there for the overall business structure. So, Ben, how are we able to help stakeholders post-transaction, specifically when it comes to MMI?
Yeah. So, here's what we've found is, knowing what that client is doing, long term is really helpful. So, meaning you close a loan with someone, and you've helped them out. They're appreciative. They're in that new house. They love it. And often it's easy for us to forget about that. Be like, okay, on to the next deal. Here I go. Continue. Just closing more deals. But with our platform, what we're able to do is then monitor all those people that have closed with you, and then give you triggers to say, hey, this person that you worked with a year and a half ago, you refied their place, they just put their home on the market. So you know what? They might most likely are going to be buying something else. Now's a perfect time to reach out, have that conversation, do this. And so giving you those tools to kind of see, hey, this is what they're doing. This is my perfect time to have that conversation. And be helpful. Hey, I already have all your stuff on file. All I need is most recent pay stubs. I need this. Other than that, this is going to be really easy. Let me help. I think just being aware of when you should be talking to those people, and then have those action items to say, okay, I'm going to pick up my phone now. I'm going to do that. Or my technology is going to send that email for me. It's a huge help.
Yeah. You have to use the technology to make your life simpler, to keep that personal touch. So, Lauren, throwing it over to you, Policygenius, how do they help stakeholders after the home buying purchase? And by stakeholders in this instance, I obviously mean the person who just bought the home.
Yeah, definitely. So, overarching, as Ben has touched on and you've touched on, Corey, technology is going to help you do what you do faster, more efficiently, instead of being bogged down with those manual processes, taking up brain space. Automating those very tedious work streams is going to free up your time to add more value. And so that's kind of something that, from a tactical standpoint at Policygenius, once you send one of your clients through our flow, we'll actually automatically then reshop their home insurance rates every year. So when they get that PG reminder, hey, you can actually have the opportunity to save $200 on your home insurance, they're going to think of you. They're going to, get back in touch and say, hey, thanks again. You set me up with this process that's automated. I don't even have to think about it. The mortgage broker doesn't have to think about it. And you're adding value post-transaction and creating that referral that can potentially happen later down the line.
Value. It's really the word that we use often too. There's so many words that we use often, but value is definitely one of them. And we just try to look for value within the entire process, whether it's bringing value to your business, bringing value to your clients, bringing value to really anyone involved in the entire transaction. So I love that point, Lauren. And Val, I'm going to ask you the same exact question, but post-transaction, what can we continue to do for our clients? What can Art of Homeownership do to help our clients for the long term?
Yeah, and I would come at this from an angle of not just post-transaction, but anyone that you're not currently working with. So whether you've worked with them in the past or not, I think it's important to communicate that you care by adding value. Like, that's what we talk about all the time. If you're adding value to them, you're going to be the trusted one that they go to for questions when they're ready to buy or refinance or refer someone. So that's really what Art of Homeownership focuses on first and foremost, more than anything, is adding value and educating the consumer. So whether they just closed on their house and they're moving, we have the technology that will update all their addresses for them and make it a seamless move. And then years down the road, it will continue to update them. What is my home worth? What do my options look like? And we really encourage a lot of our partners to do an annual financial review. So just sitting down with your past clients and saying, what's the next step for you? Are you looking to refinance? Do you want a vacation home? And help them plan that out Because if you're doing that, you are so much better than 99% of the industry. You're going above and beyond, and that's really going to show to them, and they're going to come back to you when they're looking to do business again.
I don't think I know anybody who doesn't want to be within the 1%. But really, though, I think it's our job as brokers, as people in the industry, to stay as informed as possible. And that not only includes, like being up to date on industry news, what's happening in the market, what the predictions look like, what can we do for our business, etc. But it also means vetting out the companies that can help us do our job better and faster and more streamlined. And the three of you guys included. So thank you all for all of those feedbacks. I think it's really important. And just one final question to wrap up before we do any closing remarks. But Val, I'll start with you this time. Why do you think it's important to have companies such as yours, as Art of Homeownership, as part of the broker's business tech stack? So something that we can expand on that people don't use right now, but why do you think it's important that they add this to their current tech stack or add it to a tech stack that they're just starting?
Yes. Great question, Corey. I think it's super important because, like I said, automation is so important to grow and scale your business. But when we talk about creating value, it's hard to think about, and you kind of have to come at it from a strategy standpoint of what's my audience looking for? What do they want to know? And that's how you create value. So you really have to do a lot of planning beforehand. But if you're implementing this technology like Art of Homeownership, MMI, Policygenius, that's creating the value for you. So that's taking off so much of your plate that you can, again, focus on the higher level things. So let technology do the work for you. It's not going to take your job anytime soon. There are still going to be humans in the process. Technology is just going to make things so much easier. So definitely get on board if you don't have your tech stack in place, build it out, start small, and just have something that can help automate your business.
Invest in your business.
Exactly.
Ben, same question goes to you. Why should MMI be a part of a broker's business tech stack?
Yeah, I would say, especially right now with the market, I think everyone has really benefited from really low rates. It's been awesome. Everyone's had big production years. Pretty amazing to see, how much volume many are doing. But at some point, rates will probably climb up a little bit. And at that point, when we're not getting all the refis through the door, we have to start saying, where are my other channels coming from? Where am I going to get that business? Where am I going to maintain these levels that I've enjoyed so much over the last year? And, I think MMI is a huge part of helping you see, okay, these are my opportunities with these realtors. I worked with them this much. I had no idea they were doing that much more business, and I wasn't getting those deals. So I need to do these things to now enhance and build that relationship so that I can get more of it. I can get that purchase business from them. I can then also go back to my previous clients and say, hey, we refied you, but now you've been sitting in your house through quarantine and you are now able to do this. Let me help you on that side. So I think, again, it's just being able to look at where you're headed and have all the knowledge you need to then start taking those action items. And like Val said, that technology can bring it all to the front. Then you got to take action and be that human, keep that relationship and get the deal done.
Yep, I love that. It's a complete circle of it all. Lauren, I'll throw you the same question. Why should Policygenius be a part of the broker's business tech stack?
Sure. Home insurance is a requirement of the home buying process. And for us, we built a scalable, really easy to use solution for mortgage brokers and their clients to get those great insurance rates. And you want deals to close fast and efficiently. So when you think about creating that flywheel for your business and getting the paperwork to close on the loan is a large portion of that service aspect of your flywheel. So I think having the tech in place to be able to spin that portion faster is really going to allow you to get more deals done and keep providing the service.
And a couple of things that have just been a real big takeaway from all of this is add value, streamline your business, think of all aspects of your business and which tech can help, which is probably almost every aspect of your business, but still remain that human person to have that relationship and personal touch. Does anyone have anything else to add before we wrap things up here?
No, just invest in your business, invest in yourself for sure. And you're going to grow and scale your business and do great things.
And in addition to that, we're all here to help you. Lauren, Ben, Val, myself, the AIME team, Policygenius, MMI, Art of Ownership, everybody, the whole Brokers Better network. So just know that, we're here to support you. We're here to help you. There is an exclusive discount for all 3 of these partners. I'm sure that Bennett has dropped the link in the chat by now. And if not, I'm sure he's doing it right now because he's hearing me asking to please do that right now. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate your time and your expertise, and let's just keep creating value.
Thank you, Corey.
Corey.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you too.